Hello, hello.
Yeah, hi. Good morning.
Yeah, hi. So, did any of you try what we have discussed yesterday?
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah, then I want what about Yogesh?
Yeah, sir, I also tried.
Yeah, okay. Then I want one person to show their screen about reprojecting database and the shapefile, so that we can proceed with today's class. I want initially one person to explain one concept, just do it. Second person to do the second concept. That's all. Okay, you can start. Anyone start? Just share the screen and show what you have tried.
Yeah, I'll do it. 1 minute.
Okay.
I'm just trying to open Curious. So here I have created a shape geo package layer and a shape layer for
Okay.
the one of the assembly given. And I've just
Okay.
tried to build few polygons. That's it. I have done from my side. Just I have tried and I've just explored the keys and everything.
Okay. So, what is the projection that you have used now for the image?
Right now, I used 1 second. You say it's WGS.
Just
I
go to the
use
properties of the image. No, not that one. I'm asking.
okay.
Okay. 1 minute. Okay. What is the projection that you have used here? Go to properties of the image. Go to source. The second one.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I used 46 degree north. Okay. Yeah, that is correct. Okay. So now you are comfortable with reprojecting an image and creating a database and a shapefile, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, just a small doubt. Like
Yeah.
like right now we have created a shape file geo package layer
Yes.
and separately, but in real time, does we need to create each and every layer separately, or this like as you told, like only the geo package layer is itself enough, like how it will be
Oh,
the in real time
that is
difference?
actually as per what is the code that you're getting. 1 minute, I'll just share my screen. Okay, so yeah, okay, okay. See this, like these are all drawings, but instead of creating multiple shape files, I've just created multiple types of attributes. Okay, so see, I've created multiple types of attributes in a single shapefile or in a single database itself. These were all created from a single database and were exported into a shapefile. Okay, so that is entirely based on the type of work that you're actually doing. Okay, sometimes it might require you to create individual database each and every time, and at times they'll ask you to create only one shapefile also. So that is based on what type of work that you're doing, and for that work, which one will be the most convenient. Sometimes working on multiple database for different features will be easy for you, but at times it will be very hard, and you have to work everything in a single database also. Either your client will define how many databases or how many geo packages that you're creating, or you have to decide based on your convenience and speed and based on the quality that you can get.
Okay.
It is not like every time you will be asked to create one or two. Since you wanted to try both, I told you to create both. Because at last it will not be like I know to create a shape file but not a geo package. So that I asked you to create both. But as far as client or projects is concerned, mostly you will create a geo package, and your final delivery you can just export it into a shape file or you can convert and send them. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. And what about Yogesh? What have you tried?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, share your screen and show me so that now we can proceed.
My screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. So basically, I digitized some features in this image, like uh, building footprints in
Okay,
point feature like trees,
okay,
in line feature like roads,
okay,
in uh, in 3857 projection to GS84.
okay. In which zone you have created it? You have given a coordinate reference system, but what is the projected coordinate system for it?
It's a 3857.
What? Come again?
It's a
Just go
3857
to your.
WGS84 projected coordinates.
Yeah, okay, but you have used the pseudo air creator. I want to know the exact zone in which you have created. See, you can commonly project it as WGS 1984 also, or you can project it as zone wise also, but it is advisable that you have to project it on zone wise. So just check your source
Okay.
if there you have projected it zone wise or in the comment. Just go to source. See, like you didn't create actually with a zone wise on the assigned coordinate system also. So you didn't project it on the zonal wise. You have commonly projected it as WGS 1984. Okay, that too on
Okay.
the pseudo Mercator. So there are possibilities like it will have some geometric issue unless and until you project it properly with zones.
Okay.
If you are projecting it with any other projection also, it will automatically come straight. That is correct. But at last now when you go for overall calculations, but then in area wise you will have some issue. So that is why I told you just project it on any one zone. Either it can be any zone. It should not be mandatory that it should be correct. But try to project it on zone wise so that your output will be a little bit accurate.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the second one is correct. If you're projecting it with UTM zones, you will get the correct one. But the first one you have
46.
just created with a pseudo thing. So it will reflect the original coordinate system, but there will be some errors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how we know which this image comes under which zone?
For that you have to ask the person who have executed the field data. See, since I have only directly
I think
given you the data, you will not know exactly on which location it comes. But as a coordinator or as a senior person, if you know or if you have connection with your field team, they'll exactly tell you on which zone it will come. Okay. So what and all data you are having is actually from Meghalaya. It will be on 46, I guess, 45 or 46, I guess.
Yeah. We. Okay, then this is from my side. Hello.
Yeah, it's me.
Uh,
Hello.
okay, so then this is my side. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now we'll see about as per your syllabus. Okay, so yeah, as per your syllabus, whatever today we'll be covering is cartography. So does both of you come from civil background or right?
Yeah, but you told you will tell me more about attribute joins. We didn't finish about attributes.
Yeah, yes. So that we'll discuss, okay.
Mm.
So the fact is that uh, yeah, my screen is visible for you, right?
Yes.
So if you want to perform any attribute joins, see, so this will be the attribute table for this section. Okay. So in order to perform attribute joins, you need to have any common attribute thing that you are merging. Okay, so at places you can use your object ID because it will be unique throughout. Okay. And the next thing is you can use any one data type or anything based on it. So it is a simple procedure where you will be having one Excel also. See, for example, I'll have the same attribute ID and whatever data I want, I'll have it here. So for example, here, what is that? 1378. Okay, 75510. So, so with help of this, I'll have some set of attributes and I'll have one more field here is some name, something, and I'll add some letters. Okay, anything like this, I'll just add it on an alternative scale. Okay, so now what it will do is I can join these two fields into this table manually with the properties called joins and relates. Okay, so I think you are able to see it, right? See, I can. So this will be how it is. So I'll have one attribute ID here and any new data. It can be anything. Since for example, I've given name alone. So if I'm joining these two table, it will check with the object ID and attribute ID. Okay. So if 75510, it is 75510. It will just go all the way right here. I'll add one more. It will automatically add one more field as a name and it will give you the letter assigned with it. Okay. So that is how your joins and relays actually work. And you can remove these relates also. Yeah, now we'll see how we are joining and editing it. Okay.
So this all comes under non-special data, right? Whatever we have joins and everything, attribute table.
Yeah, definitely it comes in non-spatial data.
So
And
yeah,
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 just
please,
tell me.
please go ahead.
No, 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 just go
And this data, it's everything we get from the like client or something. Like it's this spatial data, or do we to need to do manually everything from our side? Like how it
ahead.
works with this data?
That is on case-to-case basis actually. So
Mhm.
whatever you see, sometimes it is your option to go there and do case-to-case reading. That is, you have to deploy a ground team, you have to take all data and you have to again merge it out with whatever data you are dealing with. Okay, or sometimes at cases your client will give you the data.
Yeah, basically
Only
this is the all the Excel data what we get from the ground level. So we try to integrate with the like a QGIS, right?
yes,
Merge.
and it will not be mostly ground data also. Sometimes it can be other photogrammetric data also what you have calculated. It will
Okay.
not be all the time as a ground data also.
Okay, the whatever data we got in a CSV file, that's like Excel file, we'll just integrate in the attribute table with the QGIS.
Yes.
Okay.
So do you have any other doubts? Okay, now just I'll save this file. I have saved it at a location. So, okay, my screen is visible, right? Sorry. So I have just saved the file. I have just created an Excel on one location. Okay, so this is the Excel which I have created. It is having attribute ID and a name to it. Okay, so I have created, and you have to go to your processing toolbox. You know how to enable processing toolbox, right? So once you have enabled, you just type the word what you're doing, which is join. So here you have vector generation. See, join attributes by field values. So this is a tool where you will be joining Excel with vector data. Because as far we know, these all drawings are vector data. Okay. So I'll just double click it. I have tab. Okay. So this tab will have to, you have to input all other values. So first input layer is, this is my file name. Okay. It is selected the file name. So which field we have to relate, or what is the common field? Here I have given object ID. Input layer 2, I have to browse it. I can either browse the file, browse a layer or select a file. So here I'll just go, so I'll select a file. With this file, it is having two attributes. One is attribute ID, the other one is name. So I'll select attribute ID because this numbers will be common. As we know, the attribute number IDs and the Excel which I have created attribute ID will be common. So here there are two options, which is create separate feature for each matching or take attributes from first matching feature only one to one. That is, if I'm giving the first option, like take attributes from first matching feature one to many, then it will create a separate feature, like where and all we have matching, it will create one more feature for the same location since it is matching. But if I'm giving like this, like one to one aspect, whatever data is there on the Excel, it will be added to the existing field itself. Okay, so with that case, we can directly add it. So I have checked other things. If you want to have any prefix, that is optional on the field name in order to differentiate. Okay, so in order to differentiate, if you want, you can add anything, NA or a letter or plus or minus, whatever it is. I'll just add a tab. Okay, so once this is all done, I have to run the process. So see, it is running a coding and it is completed. I'll just give See, out of which only 32 layers from both layers successfully matched because I know what I have created here. Okay, total number of layers I have is 44. Out of which only 33 numbers matched with the existing database. Okay, so out of this number, okay, so out of this numbers, whatever I have got, only 33 numbers is selected. Balance 4,000, like 42,000 polygons does not match. Now, if I go and check all these polygons alone, matching polygons alone, so now they have created one joint layer where both features from my Excel and also from my existing allotment data, they have matched it. If I go and check the attribute table here, just a minute. Not sorry, I had the same network issue from yesterday. So I just go to my attribute table, it out, see what kind of from Excel, I just given a prefix as a underscore, so it is all added. So where add match see, all the layer ID is matching. The object ID is matching the same here. See 75511 75511. So where and all this object ID and what I have created from this is the attribute ID is matching on the location. Whatever I have added in the Excel is getting added. These are the names which are given A, B, B, C, C, whatever it is. Okay. So this is why we have to perform joins and relates initially. But I with letter formats. But if you go for application, what you will have is we have so much options here which I haven't filled it actually. Like the plot ID will have village name, district, block, and owner name. So these type of data we'll have 4 or 5 Excel with all these datas, which will relate it with one another with respect to object IDs. So when we are actually giving a data to the field team also, we'll only mark it with the object ID and give them. So that if they go to the field, they'll just enter data based on object IDs. So after taking these data, they'll just prepare an Excel with object ID, whatever data is required, and they'll give us an Excel. So after drawing all these things from uh, QGIS, we'll just select it and join and relate it with one another. That's all. Okay. So with that, we'll be able to, like, instead of giving more attributes with one another, we can easily create more attribute data rather than manually entering everything in our QGIS itself. It will take some plenty of time, and also there are some options for repetitions and this and that. So this joins will be the last option, last procedure while delivering a data. Okay. So now do you have any doubts in how to join two data from anything? And this data can be in any format like CSV, Excel, even from notepads also you can join it. Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone
Got
have
it.
any doubts?
Uh,
Does anyone have any doubt?
No.
no, sir.
Yeah, okay. So we'll be seeing your third topic today, which is, I mean, like the fourth topic as per your syllabus, which is cartography. I think you people might be familiar with this term cartography. Does anyone exactly know what is the definition of cartography on a one word or one line? Can you just tell me what it is if you know it?
So basically, cartography is creating and editing maps.
Okay, that's a good answer, but it will not be the exact answer. The exact definition of photography is anything related to study of maps. Okay, this study includes creating, editing, everything. Okay, so anything and everything related to study of map is said to be cartography. Okay, in this, the term cartographer is used for the person who's creating the map or editing the map. Okay, so cartography is just a term which defines the person who's studying the map. That's all. It can be anyone. Okay, I think now these are all the terms where Indian people just lag a bit on the speak while speaking. No, we'll say you have to. I can read the Google map or I'll read maps. So we have to use the technical terms like I know cartography. Like I am a cartographer by person. So these words and all when we are using on our day-to-day life. You know, when you go for an interview or something, they'll have a very good opinion about you because you know you'll be using more technical terms as compared to other people. Okay. Yeah. So this is how whatever map, anything what you decide will looks like. Correct. So there will be main components which will be the title of map. This is not just for this map. Any map, even if you download from Survey of India, you will have this one. You will have the same template. That is, you know, you will have a title, you will have a scale bar, you will have an indentation or north arrow. If there are images, you will have the map body, you will have a full legend and acknowledgement and some metadata related to the map. Okay. So now I'll show you some reference images from Survey of India. So we can start with them. So how many of you here have an account with Survey of India? Does anyone have
What's
an account on Survey of India app?
No.
Yeah, I
I
have
don't.
account.
Okay, so since you have an account, do you know how to use the Survey of India?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So it is better I'll just show for her also. Uh, just I don't want you to learn it, but just know how it works. So initially there are websites for Survey of India now. So basically this is the website for Survey of India. Okay, so this will be the official website where you can even you can purchase or you can download or anything for surveys. Okay, so these are all different types of survey maps that is available from Survey of India for you. Okay, you have your Geo portal, online map portal, and your tide gauge map. So these are all on the coastal regions and the mobile app. So now we'll basically see how you can download maps. Okay, so I'll be going with online maps only, not both format are same actually. There is nothing more than this. Okay, as compared to both, you will have both here. Whereas if you go for geo portals, it is connected with various websites like Bonaksha, Bowen2D and all other things. If you go for regular survey of India, you'll have your normal maps. Okay, so as far as this, you have so much option here that is open series, village database, and your geographic map, georeferenced color raster, your DEM map, administrative boundaries, and all other things. So based on the data present in it, the payment amount will actually be there. Okay. So this is how Survey of India puts India. So here you can, I think you're able to, okay, so I think you're able to see small boxes here, right? With letters in it. Are you able to see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so each and every location is segregated on letter denominations, text wise, letter wise, series wise. Okay, so here I'm just going to search for a sheet. So I have to initially select a state. For example, I'll go with Karnataka. Okay, I'll go with Bangalore urban. See, so the first thing is the letter what you get. So that will be the letter series what you see in the map. The next thing 43 will be the row. Okay, sorry, column. Yeah, 43 will be the total columns. It will be the 43rd column, and R will be the column from the, I mean, like the row details from the D is a column and R will be a row details. Okay. So D is the series of columns. It will come like this, and you will have your rows also simultaneously. So as far as column, it is D43 box, and you have R12 from the row box. Okay, this is the split up how they have done. Okay, and this is the individual sheet number which is provided by Survey of India for each and every zone what they are taking. So I just select a sheet, for example. So for downloading, you just need an account, but you don't have to pay anything for the account. It is open to all only. So I think so I have updated the website also recently only. So now if you are opening, you just need a mail ID and a phone number in order to open an account in Survey of India. It's taking too long. Just a minute. Yes. Okay, so it is long. Okay. So this is visible, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So this will have your basic Survey of India map will be, and the distance between this left and the right corner will be 15 degrees. Okay, this is in 72-15. The ending will be 72-30. The same on top to bottom also. Only 15 degrees will be covered in each and every map. So the first thing will be the map number. Okay. So we have seen the placement, right? So if this is G43S10, it will be considered as a center map and all other surrounding maps will be given. So that in order if you need only your right or left map, you can just refer here and download that particular map alone. So you will have one box of map placement of what you are getting, only the surrounding maps. Then you will have your legend. Okay, so whatever symbols I have, it will be here. And the last thing will be the details regarding the map. For example, when it is taken and at what period it has been published and what is the projection system they have used, what is the total scale of it, all other metadata, that is anything related to acquiring the map data will be provided here. Okay, so here you will have some keywords or like the route map, something, the words which they have used it in a number format here. For example, in some roads, instead of giving name, they'll be providing it with numbers like 1 2 3 4. So not just road, all any feature which is specifically marked in separate numbers will be provided the names here. Okay, so this is how your basic survey of India map will be with all layouts, and it will be 15 degrees from left to right. So this is how your survey of map will be, and this is the basic standard format for providing layout. Okay, so anyone who's preparing this map is said to be a cartographer, and anyone who's able to study this map, that person is said to be he studied cartography. That's all. Okay. Yeah. Do you have any other doubts?
No,
Hello.
no, I don't have any information.
Yeah. So this is the basic definition. And if you go for the dictionary perfect definition, it is said to be like cartography is said to be both art and science of making map. So it combines both the technical part as well as the drawing part of it. Okay, when you go for the science of cartography, um, so when you go for the science of cartography, it depicts what and all is the scale what you are using, the technical part. Okay, the scale, the UTM projection what you are using, and all the measurements, the geometric part of it is considered to be the science portion. Okay, so anything and everything that is with respect to the science part of making a map is also considered. And as far as the cartography is an art, so there comes a drawing work. Okay, so anyone who's drawing it. So it combines both the technical part as well as the drawing portion of any map. So that is the dictionary perfect explanation. Like cartography is a combination of both art and science in making map, or a person who is able to do this both while creating a map is said to be cartography. Okay. And no, in olden days, it is said that map was the only tool of communication when no before this Google Maps, whatever we see. Even then, have you heard of this map books which will be sold in every book expos? Like, no, you'll have one book like thing. When you open it, it will open it into a A0 size sheet, and you'll have, for example, if you have chosen a city, that city map will be there. I don't know how many of you have seen it. Oh, that name of it. So yeah, it will be like this only. See the road map of Bangalore. So when you open this book, so this is how it will be. So they have opened the map here. Okay, so you can see the folding there. This will be actually, it is a book like this. When you opened it, no, when you opened it, you can split it into this full sheet format. It will be on actual scale only with the ground reference. So previously, before exploring this Google Maps and all other things and all, this is what we have used. And I think I have like 7 to 10 city maps of this for India alone. So I don't know whether you people have seen it, but this is how previously it was used. And even now, if you go to any corporation office or municipal office or any government sector office, you might see a map of that particular zone. For example, if that's a corporation department, you might see an actual map of that corporation on a fixed scale on the background or on the table. So, like the same way, these maps are even now created for different purposes. Okay, so now we'll see why this mapping sector like this cartography is more predominant on GIS. It is like, as GIS, we have a lot of database and see, you take this and just go to attribute table. See what is the total number of features here. See, total it is 42,000 features. Okay. So if you go for a database, this 42,000 features you can create. But the output form of it is none other than a cartographical output. That's all. You cannot put any other output for a database and vector data other than a cartographical output because that will be the most perfect match for it. And it can handle like complex attributes also. Previously, if you go for these type of maps, you will have See, you will have so much type of details into it, like the road name, buildings, the most big buildings that time you have the lakes, the area wise, the zone wise, you can see so much data embedded into a cartography. It is like you can handle. See, here you have so much complex data. Rather than mentioning it into a database, this will be the most easiest way for anyone to understand. So it can handle very large complex attributes and data also. Okay. So, and if you see any data without a cartographical perspective, see, I haven't prepared the layout here. Do you able to read it? So any data without a cartographical layout looks like this. You will only have lines, graphs, drawings, whatever it is, but you will not able to know what it is or how it is all done. Okay, it will be on that aspect only. So you cannot read it, you cannot understand it or perform anything. So any raw database without a cartographical output will be just a bland drawing or a box or gridding something, whatever it is. Okay, so here we can tell that using cartography you can actually read the map. It increases the readability of the map to even who are uneducated also. You have seen maps in universities, right? They'll give you one map, one dark point. So even if a person is illiterate, he'll know exactly, okay, so we are here. If I want to go to boys hostel, I have to go take a right or left. That he can understand. So it is easy readability for each and every one, and every cartographical map will have the legible text. The font size is a standard size as per IS standards. You have a designated font design, a font size, and everything as per the grade of letters that you give based on the hierarchical order on the Indian code, Indian standard codes. Okay, and you have to pro. It will be more appealing with color contrast. See, without color contrast, whatever I'm seeing here, it is just empty lines. I cannot understand what it is or how it is drawn or what it defines without a color combination or without a cartographical. The more color it will use. Okay, so it will be most appealing for people to identify different features and the symbols what they are using. There are like specific symbols like for temples they'll use, for mosque they'll use, for church they'll use, for level crossing they use, the for bridges they use. Just like we see symbols on the sides of road, there are also symbols in cartography or from the Survey of India maps also, so that we are able to read it and understand. The next thing will be the accuracy. That is, when it comes to accuracy, it is not the quality of the data, it is the understanding of the data accuracy. Like you cannot misinterpret or mislead or misstudy any data from a cartographical perspective because it will have its own color, it will have its own feature or symbol, and it will have its own namings. So you cannot misread anything or understand it on a wrong manner, or you can misunderstand it. So it gives a more accuracy regarding interpretation and understanding of data. So to avoid misleadings and other things. The next thing will be the decision making factor. See, if I'm saying like this, I'll not be able to come to a conclusion without knowing what it is or how it is or what and all it shows me. So for this, it will when I'm giving more colors to it, for example, see, yes, just a minute, I'll just give colors and show you. So see, the more different colors it uses, I'll be able to understand different features. See, the more different colors you use, the more it will be easy for me to decision making. So if I'm able to identify, if I know the proper legend of it, I know each feature has its own color and each drawings and each color will depicts its own features. So by this, I'll be able to make a proper decision for any aspect, for disaster management, for police work, for mapping work, for urban planning work, for city development, whatever it is, I can be used. Okay, and the real life applications of this field is very like very large. How many of you know what is a rain gauge? Does anyone know what is a rain gauge actually?
Yeah, I heard it during my bachelor's, but I don't remember like exact definition for that.
Okay, so rain gauge is an equipment that is used to know the total rainfall. Okay, so I'll just show you it. So it is nothing but it will be placed on a building actually. Okay, so rain gauge. So it will be just like this tube. As far as the government is concerned, it will be placed on near the rainwater harvesting system or on the outskirts near a building. So what this will do is when it rains, it will get collected. No, as you can see here, see the mouth is wide. As it rains, the water, whatever it is coming near it, it will fall inside, and the water level will rise. So based on this, they will come to a conclusion. Okay, this is the total centimeter of rainfall. But how many of you know these rain gauge maps can be depicted through cartography? So the real life application is no, this will not be throughout a map. Okay, so I'll just go and show. See, okay, yeah. So basically, if we tell this is one location, we'll have rain gauges on multiple locations around a city. Okay, so this is how your rainfall is calculated. For example, we'll take Bangalore. I will have like some 50 to 100 locations of rain gauge. Any calculation which is taken through that gauge, the average will be said to be the total amount of rainfall that is getting for Bangalore city. I cannot differentiate, or each and everything will depict zone wise, and anything comes into that zone, they'll tell, okay, these locations in Bangalore have got this much rainfall. Zone wise, area wise, where it is possible, they'll split it like this also. So, like these map and all, you cannot exactly tell them with this rain gauge till this street we have received this much water. So it is not possible. So in that case, we can overlap a village boundary or a state boundary into it, an administrative boundary into it. We can mark the rain gauge locations, and by using interpolation method and surface analysis, you can create a map in such a way that you can depict the total amount of rainfall with respect to each and every area. So like this, you can create for population, you can create for land use land cover, which is you can split it. What is the build up area, building area, what is occupational area, what is forest land, on basic usage of land coverage. You can go for population density and all. So all these type of maps you can create. And when it comes to create multiple maps on multiple themes, on multiple features, that is also said to be thematic map preparation. So what we see from the survey of whiteboard. Okay, so this is said to be your basic cartography. But anything that you have created with respect to any one theme, that is, it can be a population map, a rainfall map, just like this. You have used cartography and created it. Okay, how many of you are able to see the screen? So this is said to be a thematic map, a map depicting any one particular feature. For example, here, this is what we have written the rainfall meter. So here we have rainfall meters on multiple locations. Okay, for example, now we'll have one rainfall meter here, one here, one here. So based on this data, we have did an interpolation and created a rainfall map. So this is how we'll create a thematic map with respect to any one data. Here, it can be rainfall data, population density, just like what I have shown you. So see, these are all population density map. Where it is in red color, there you'll have more populations like that. So it is explained like this. Anything which you are preparing with respect to any one particular theme or any one particular data, it is said to be a thematic map. Okay. So cartography is creating maps, and out of which you'll have your regular cadastral maps from Survey of India, what we are seeing here. and thematic maps with respect to different themes of it. Okay, so these are all two different types of map a cartographer is creating. One is the basic cadastral or basic drawing map. The next thing will be the thematic map. Okay, so now when we started, I have told you what are the basic components of map. Does anyone can repeat it? What are the basic elements or components of map?
So it would be the thematic
No, I'm not
thematic
asking
map.
what are types of map. I'm asking what
Mm.
all components will be there in a map. So I started the class with showing you a map with all components into it, right?
Yeah, map
So
number,
what are okay?
and the details, like exact, like whatever features we have in that map.
Okay, that is said to be geonary references or legend.
Okay.
Okay, we have missed two things actually. The first thing is a map title or a map name. Okay, so map number will be there, but it will not be common throughout the maps. The only thing common is your map name. So you'll have your map name, your scale bar, your legend, and your map. This is standard. And the important thing is you'll have your north arrow or the indentation of it. So without knowing the direction, you cannot place any map. So any map that you take will have its own north arrow with respect to north. Okay, so these are the main five components of a map what you will be using. Okay,
So it's
now
map title, scale bar, legend, direction. The other one, what you said?
it is map. That's all. The content of
Okay.
the map.
Okay.
So the map body, it is said to be a map body or anything. So these are the main five components of a map. You cannot create any map without these things. You can add more. That is okay. See, for example, now you told map number, you'll have metadata, you'll have projection, more things. Those are all added at extras only. The basic thing is you'll have a map title, a scale, a map body, a north arrow, and a legend. So these five component is the main five component of a map. Okay. So how many of you know to how to read a scale actually? Does anyone know how to read a scale on a 2D map?
No, sir.
Yeah, okay. It is actually to be very simple with a normal scale. Like, how many of you know they'll not use scale in a 2D map? Instead, they'll use ropes into it, rope or thread into it. See, now we'll start it here itself. It is 1 is to 5,000. Okay, we'll consider it as a centimeter scale. Okay, so I'll just go here. I'll just open it in my editor so that I can explain to you. Okay, yeah. So as far as this map, it is on the scale of 1 is to 50,000. Okay, so this is the scale of this map. So they'll take a thread or a rope, whichever is convenient. They'll take from first point. They'll keep the rope on the road. They'll mark it exactly on the surface. Just like now we are using the ropes to create designs. They'll place it exactly on the top like this in order to measure the distance between two locations. So this is location A and this is your location B. So once they have marked the rope, they'll actually mark that point on the rope also. Okay, then they'll take the rope, keep it in a scale. Okay, then it is the scale is 1 is to 50,000. If it is showing 5 centimeter on the rope, it will be 50,000 centimeter on the ground level. Okay, that is how any scale in map works. So if they are providing 1 inch equals to 1 mile, you keep a thread measure on the road feature of the map. Whenever the map touches 1 inch, it is mentioned that you have crossed 1 mile on the actual ground level. Okay, so that is how it will be. For example, you see like, okay, there are so much road here. We'll have one thread also, and the normal thread will have this marking as per the scale. If it is based on the inch, they'll mark every inch on the thread. Then they'll place the thread exactly over the surface of what you are going to measure. So now this difference here will be 1 inch on the thread. But if you go to the real life, it will be 1 mile, which is approximately 1.5 kilometers. So this is how any measurement from the 2D map is being taken on the actual ground. So that is how they have given scale. No, they'll give 1
But
is to 50,000, 1 is to 1 lakh or whatever it is.
so how that's possible? Like when you like uh, if you're trying to open any system like a desktop, if you zoom it or if you zoom out, like exact measurement, how will take that road?
So if you want to open it in a system, the thing what it is, each and every map here is on a scale. That scale is applicable only when you have it in a hard copy. And that too on the specified sheet. This
Okay.
they'll mention it as this 1 is to 50,000 is applicable only when this map is printed in A0 size or A1 size. So
Mhm.
only when you print it on the specified size, the measurement what you get will be actual to the ground. Instead, if they tell it to be A0 size and you have printed it in A1, like A1 is almost half of A0, correct? So the scale value automatically increases. So then if you print it in half of the size paper, the scale will be doubled. Normal, if it is 1 is to 50,000, okay, we'll just put 50 itself. When you print it on one specific paper, it will be 1 is to 50. If you print it in half of that size, the scale automatically comes to be 1 is to 100. But every survey of India is having its own standard size of paper where you can purchase a hard copy. That paper size alone is actual on the scale of 1 is to 50. Whereas if you're going to put it on the desktop, you have to actually georeference it or make the map into the scale of 1 is to 1 in order to measure it. Okay, only in that time what you are measuring on the data, see here, the data what I have prepared is on 1 is to 1 scale. Okay, so only when I'm georeferencing the data, making the scale as 1 is to 1 in the software, whatever I'm measuring here will be correct with respect to ground level, or else it will not be. Okay, so if the scale is 1 is to 50, if I'm measuring here, it is showing some 50 meters. I have to go to the scale value. It is 1 is to 100, then I have to go 50 into 100, it will be 5,000 meters on field. But when the map is on 1 is to 1, so that is why whenever we are downloading a map for work, initially the first work what we do is we'll convert the scale into 1 is to 1, because the scale what they have provided is only for printing purpose, that too on a specified size of paper. No, this scale will not work on all papers. Okay, so based on the size of paper only, the scale is determined. Since Survey of India has a standard paper size, they are printing it on 1 is to 50,000 for all their paper size. So once we take it out, initially we have to georeference it. Okay, after georeferencing it, the size changes from 1 is to 50,000 to 1 is to 1. And only after that, any type of measurements will be taken from a digital map. Okay. So whenever you are receiving a digital map, the main thing you have to check it whether it is on which scale. Now, if you are going for a drawing work or anything, you have to know whether it is on a 1 is to 1 scale or 1 is to 4,000 or on what scale it is being placed. So that you should be able to know. Okay. So without understanding the scale proportion, you cannot come to a conclusion on the measurement part. So it is always better, or it is always advisable to first check the scale of the map. If you are working out on digital scale, make it 1 is to 1. Or if you are working in hard copy, understand the scale with respect to paper size and then take measurements. Okay, so I think you're able to see this screen what I have opened, right? See, any scale that we prepare, any drawing that we prepare will have its own scale values. Okay, for example, if this is 50 centimeter on the drawing file, I'll just export it on a A3 size paper. So I have to convert this drawing with respect to A3 size paper. So we have standard ratios like 1 is to 3000 or 1 is to 4000. Based on that proportion, and a person is measuring this drawing in the scale with respect to field, he can get the accurate data. Okay, so without this type of scaling and reading, any civil engineering drawings will not be applicable. Okay, so they have taught you in your course paper, right? So whenever you are preparing an engineering drawing, they'll ask you to mention a scale so that you should have a better idea of it. Okay, so does anyone have any doubts till this?
No,
Hello?
no.
Yeah, okay, both are clear with all doubts, right? Like on apart from only for this topic I'm asking for scaling
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll see the basic elements of a map. Okay, so any map, we'll know that the map title is the most important thing of what we are seeing. Okay, but as for map title is concerned, there are placement in maps also. So Survey of India here, how many of you have seen the older Survey of India map or any map in Atlas? Do you know where the exact map is placed on an atlas? Can anyone answer? So how many of you have seen the map in atlas on the pages? And does anyone know where the name of the map is placed on an atlas?
The downside at the bottom.
No, no, it will be placed on the topmost portion. So it is on the hierarchical order. Any placement or any atlas, whatever page you are taking, your map title will be only on the top right or in the top center. You will not place any map on any, like the titles on any other location of the map. It is as per standards only, you have to place either the top, your title should be on the topmost point of your map, either on left or right, but it should be on the topmost point. Okay. So when a person sees, we'll not go from bottom to top, right? We'll read from top to bottom. So whenever a person sees a map, the first thing he sees is the title of the map. So only for this purpose, they have given it as the title should be on the top of the map and it should be very big size as compared to all other text on a bold letter. Okay. So the title can be either, here they have given some, I think it is some, as for Britannica, they have given a name. So here, either if it is India map, they'll write India map. That should be name of the map, not the location. If it is Gujarat map, it will mention as Gujarat map. And if it is in road map of Gujarat, they will mention it as the road map of Gujarat, not Gujarat map. So that first heading will give you what type of map it is and of what location. Or at least it should give you on what type of map it is. So road networking map or thematic map or population map or whatever it is. And the second line you have to consider it for the location if it is given separately. Okay, it is actually not advisable to give separately, but initially what they'll do is they have to give it in the top bottom itself. For example, if it is a Gujarat road map, so that will be the name. But some people what they'll do is the heading will be road map. The second line they'll put it as location Gujarat. So then as per hierarchy, that second line should be a font size less than what is on the top line. Okay, so there will be in some maps, you will see 4 to 5 lines. Okay, so think you don't have anything. So in some maps, you'll have 4 to 5 lines, like the name of the map. The second thing will be the location. The third will be the district, state, country, whatever they are putting. But the font size should be hierarchical. The first line will be the bigger font. As the line comes down, the font size should also reduce with respect to it. Okay. and the font should be legible, and there are some only world approved font which you should use on a map also. Okay, and the next thing in a map is a legend, or they'll set it as a geonary reference. Okay, so this is said to be a legend, and it will consist of components like the colors, what you are using for each and every feature, and the symbols, what you are using. So these are all said to be colors or patterns on what color you have depicted each and every object. The next thing will be the symbols of what you are using, and the next thing will be patterns. For example, grass field will have different pattern, whatever it is, and your line types for line features. For rail network, what you are using, for electric pole, what you are using, for major road, what you are using, for minor road, what you are using. So each and every legend should have these four components. The first thing will be the color of what you are using for each and every feature. The second thing will be the symbols of what you are using for each and everything. The third one will be the pattern hatch, for what land type you are using, what pattern hatch. The next thing will be the line type for line features like railways and other things. Okay. And this legend should be so much legible, and each and every color should be differentiated separately. Okay, so each and every color what you're using should be given separately. So mostly what they'll use, they'll avoid using same shades of colors. For example, if they're using green, they'll not avoid the first shade and second shade. So see in this case, okay, so if they are using this dark red color, they'll if they're using this dark red color, again they'll not use the lighter red. They'll directly go to the most light of red combination what they can get. If they're using the dark most color of a feature, they'll go to the light most color of the feature. So in order to differentiate it, in order to make you understand the difference between the color patterns, so they'll mostly not use a repetition of colors unless and until purposefully done. For example, see here, they have used the repetition of color, but they have used it only for transportation facility. So anything on green color will be on the transportation facilities. And see, this is the dark green and this is the light green. So they have differentiated with the shade too big in order to make people not confused. Okay, so that is how the legend should be placed, and it should not be so much clusters also. So the arrangement should be either vertical or horizontal in a tabular column with a neat font size without any stylish fonts or anything, and proper labeling on the near each and every symbol. Your label should not go up or down. Each and every label should have each and every name exactly on the middle of it. So that also you have to prepare as per scale. So if you're drawing a symbol here, for example, your name what you are giving should be on the exact center line of it. You cannot draw it little bit up also and down also. That you should be extra careful while aligning. Okay, so the next thing is the scale. Scale is nothing but we know it is giving a relationship between what is on the map with respect to the ground life and the exact actual ground. Okay, so it was useful for you to calculate the mathematical calculations like what is the length of it, what is the area of it, size of it, whatever it is. Okay, and there are two types of scales. Okay, one is a scale bar. Okay, so this thing is said to be a scale bar. Okay, so anything which is having a scale like structure marking each and every section of it. So this is said to be a scale bar, and this is said to be the representative fraction scale. Okay, these two are two different scales, and each and every map should have these two scales. The one is the scale bar, which is the oldest method of reading a scale, and this is the representative fraction scale, what are modern technologies we are using. So here they'll give us one in the topmost, they'll give, for example, they'll mark it with a real life thing only. For example, if they are marking a box like this, and they'll give here is 0 and here is 1 kilometer. If you measure it with actual scale, this might be almost like 1 centimeter. So this means 1 centimeter on actual will result in 1 kilometer on the actual ground. So this is a we have to read the manual analog scale, and the ratio we know if it is 1 centimeter on drawing, it will be 50,000 centimeter on actual ground level. So this is a representative scale, and this is the manual analog scale what we are using, which is a scale bar. Okay. So now both of you are clear how to know what is scale and how to read it, and
Yeah.
what are different types of scale on the toolbox.
Yeah.
Okay. And the next thing will be your north. Okay, so any map and every map that you take should have its own north arrow. They have not used north arrow here just because they have used the projection system. So without projection system, if a map is there, you have to have your north arrow into it. So any map that you take should have a north arrow into it. Okay. So not just this, any map that you have provided. Okay. Okay. So any map that you take should have a north arrow with it. Unless and until you are having a north arrow, it is not considered to be a proper map. Okay, the map which is not having a north arrow will not be considered as an actual map as compared to people, and it cannot be used as a reference material or anything. So to validate a data, you should have a north arrow and a scale. Without these two data, you cannot consider a map to be a reference on geometric aspect also, on educational aspects also. Okay. And the next thing will be the labels. That is, the basic labels, what and all. See, this is what your basic labels is, what they are showing, the names of it. See, the name of any buildings. So these, whatever they have marked or named, they'll tell it as the labels. And these labels will also be in hierarchical order. For example, the country name will be on, for example, the font size 12. The district will be, sorry, the state will be on font size 10. Again, the district will be on font size 8. The sub-district will be on font size 6. So based on the hierarchical order, the labels will also have its own font size and designs. Okay, and mostly these labels will give you the names of locations, some building names or anything, or some number values only. Okay, and any lettering or text that is used on a map is said to be labeled. For example, these XY coordinate what they have written. So these are all said to be labels also. So anything on the name format, text on the middle of the map, that is on the boundary of the map. Excuse me, sorry. So anything on the boundary of the map is said to be a label. Okay, it can be of different design, different pattern as per Indian standards. For example, if you go for Indian standard maps, your water bodies will have different label types. Your agriculture land will have different label types. Wait a minute, I'll just show. Oh, I'll just download a map and show you in next class, I guess. So, for example, now your water body will be on the italics on blue color. So your cities will be your black color on bold format. Your state will be on the full uppercase, only capital letters. So based on it, you have IS code for Survey of India labels also. That also you should see. And the last thing on any map can be like the source or the author. For example, if you see Survey of India, they'll write a disclaimer like this is published by Survey of India, with respect to data taken on a following date under the guidance of, and they will mark the Survey of India head at that time. Just like our rupees note, our currency note will have the signature of the governor, right? So denominate on what period the note is printed and all the things, they'll also have. That is where the source is. Now this box contains, I'll give you a clear picture, I'll download and show you. This box will give you, this is published under Survey of India, their address, and it will show you on what date is the map taken, for what purpose, and who is the signing authority or the accreditation authority of the map. Most maps will not have these details, but some standardized map which is used for other purposes, they have the source and author. That is, they'll tell from what date it is taken, from where it is being printed or sold, and who's the person responsible for it or the credibility. So that they'll give. Okay. So these are all the basic contents on a map. Okay. So do you have any doubt regarding it? Hello.
No.
Yeah. What about you guys? Do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay. And do you want me to go at this pace or you want me to increase the speed?
I think this speed is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we'll close today's class with this. From tomorrow, we'll start with symbologies. So how you can do symbologies in QGIS, what are different type of thematic maps and how we are preparing it in QGIS. So that we'll see on tomorrow's class. Okay. So I want you
Thank you.
people, if you already know how to use the Survey of India, you can just use it. Or if you're new to it, just try to create an account and go for a map downloading or anything. Okay. Just try it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Now,
we'll
I
see.
think now Survey of India sites they make more private. You can't download
Yeah,
it
they made more private. Yeah.
easily.
No,
Yeah,
actually,
I have
you can
account, but
download it, but you have to. Yeah, that is. I think you might have opened an account previously, but you might have not updated it. See, now I have
yeah,
downloaded this latest map. Okay, so you have to now give them a non-disclosure agreement as well as a certified bona fide from your side that you are not misusing this map. So you have to get few signature from your side. You have to upload it, and they have to approve it now. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so you have to update your data, whatever it is. Okay, I have a map, so I just saw it now. I'll just share a document of this map also in group if required, okay? In order for you to see it. Okay?
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.